Hi, Aries. Welcome to 2020. Mars went into Sagittarius on the 3rd. Today is the 6th. It is 5 a.m. I've had insomnia for about 2 weeks, but we'll get to that later. So, this year, Mars is going to play some tricks, and you will be center stage. Your beautiful, young, vibrant, brave self. I like it. Pure. And this Page of Wands, he's ambitious. He doesn't know the trials of love and war, although we will go through both, especially you. But you start the year with a healthy optimism. And then we have the Queen of Pentacles, the King of Swords, the Ace of Wands, and your connections, your power, your opportunities, your ability to make money grows throughout the year. Very good. Page of Pentacles, the High Priestess, and Strength. And you learn something, and I'm going to be a little bit shady now. Ooh, yay for the cross watchers. You learn something about love. I think you learn finally that sometimes just to feel the rush of the wind, you run from pillar to post, from this is the best thing ever to this is the worst thing ever. You may not always express it to your significant other, or the object of your desire, or your most wanted thing, profession, whatever. You may not say these things out loud. You may not, articulate it that way. But in your mind, you play this cricket. You play this mental cricket where you just run. But in the meantime, you're exhausting something that's so pure and so precious and can't be spent. That's not fuel that's meant to be spent that way. It's meant to be used for a long haul, be it your profession, your love interest, your children, whatever it is. And often you will find that the people around you don't have the heart to tell you that your fuel could be used in such a more positive way, or that they can see within you that you could do so much more if you weren't so exhausted. Well, 2020 uses perhaps the example of an earth sign that you have been intimate with, or a Leo that you have also had some sort of a romantic interest in, or this could again be if it is more of a work read, then this would be a low-paying job that you still really like the shade, and something that perhaps you don't like as much, but it really appeals to your ego. Now, what happens in 2020 is that you are perfecting the art of not running between the two pillars, but sitting between them. Very important distinction. Because to be perfectly honest, this is pretty much your constant state of affairs. You always have opportunities coming in. Money's always trying to find you. There is always a sense of a larger authority figure protecting you. In this case, an air sign who really loves you and may open a very big door for you. Coming up here the second week of January. The reason you may not always feel. The reason you may not feel like that's your constant reality, Queen of Pentacles, extreme self-worth, King of Swords, opportunity, protection, insight, new money-making opportunities, Ace of Wands, the ability, the fire, the wherewithal, the resourcefulness, the quickness of mind to take a hold of those opportunities. It may not always feel that way, because to really tap into your superpower as a sign, be it your incredible intuition and speed and stamina, or someone else is something else, for example, a Gemini's ability to talk their way in or out of anything. No one can use their superpower properly until they first find this space. This should be the base on which you build your brand. Even if your brand is just enhancing your natural instincts, your natural given in your inherent qualities. Most people who are very successful do exactly that, right? So if this is your baseline, and by this, for those of you who are new, welcome to the revolution. What I mean is someone who has stepped back far enough behind the binary of the black and the white of this world, this simulation, whatever you like to call it, and can see from that seated throne of silence, really, that beyond the pale of the black and white, there is what Rumi calls the field. Beyond the wrong and right, there is a field, I'll meet you there. She's sitting on the throne in that field. When you get to that space, your superpowers, whatever they are, your personal ones, they start to bloom. Now, does the High Priestess mean, I'm sitting here with cards in my hand that came out, I haven't shown you yet. Does this mean that the High Priestess doesn't see the difference between wrong and right? Not at all. It's just that she's not running between the pillars. That's all I'm trying to illustrate to you. And then 6 of Swords, 9 of Swords, Page of Swords. And the bottom of the deck is the Judgment card. I think that you were probably interested in someone who is an air sign, who was probably a lot like this air sign in some way, but they weren't really. And that ended up not being anything. If it makes you feel any better, astrologically, you were meant to meet someone like them, have it turn out platonic, and learn something from it. That's just the chart. So don't feel bad. It's not you. It's not them. It's the stars. And then the bottom of the deck here is the Judgment card, the Queen of Swords, the Empress, and the 10 of Wands. I love it. In return for the lessons you will learn, you will gain a new voice. You will get closer to another air sign, also in a position to offer you great help. This could even be a maternal figure. And you will find, either within yourself or with the help of this Empress archetype, a very bright future. The 10 of Wands in a reading for an Aries at the beginning of a new decade, after the decade that you've had. This whole reading actually is very beautiful, and it is what you deserve. And I think sometimes we lose sight of that when it comes to Aries. You're so busy doing that we forget to tell you how much you deserve your wins. You're so busy crushing it and winning that sometimes we forget to clap. And that's not fair, because you still need it and you still deserve it. Love you. Let's look at these cards. Hi Aries, welcome to part 2 of your reading. All right, now that you can see them all, what do you think? Well, there is an overage of light blue here. As you can tell, there's a lot of light blue on the table. There is a sense of a real renewed beginning that I don't think has anything to do with New Year's Eve or even the fact that it's 2020. I think that if Leo learns best by failure-based learning, Aries learns best by accomplishment-based learning. So you have a tendency to get to the top of a mountain in a very specific way. But now you become cognizant of the fact that that same mountain can be scaled to a different height if done with a different technique. So the mountain, the goal, the thing doesn't necessarily have to change, but what you can get out of it by how you go about it can change. So it's a fresh new approach. And as trite as that may sound to say at the beginning of an Aries reading in January 2020, Page of Wands is your first card. And then Queen of Pentacles and King of Swords. It is about self-worth. It is about authority. It is about new ideas, but it's also about these earth signs and these air signs. The earth signs you hold more of a nurturing feel towards. And the air signs are more authoritative, but both are in some way very oppressive. It isn't meant to be that way. It's just oppressive. And then the Ace of Wands, an opportunity that appears that can give you a way out. Will you have to start small? Yes. Entry level, perhaps. But the way in which you can now shape your future based on your natural talents, your ability to move when you need to, and very much so, sit and observe when you need to. This fallacy about Aries not being able to be still is not true. Aries get very still right before they ram into somebody. Assess the situation. So go ahead and assess. These new opportunities that are coming in, they do require a little bit of a chess game, because you have to work them around all the people in your life that just take and take and take. And we could spend hours talking about how you shouldn't let people take from you, but we both know it's not going to change anything. It's not like you can help it. What confuses me is how you can be perhaps the most generous sign in the zodiac and be dubbed the most selfish. The irony of it. The earth sign is very prevalent in your thinking, to the point where you gotta wonder, is it a little bit of an obsession for you? The Leo, the fixed fire, whether it's a person or a personality trait within you, you're getting another look at it. January 2020 gives you the ability to, well, all of 2020 gives you the ability to take your ego out like a snow globe, look inside it, shake it up, see what happens. And what you will find is that most of the pain you experienced last year, or maybe transitioning out of now, had everything to do with not being able to see inside that globe. Had to do with being very aware of having an ego, but not really knowing what it was comprised of. Real 12th house stuff. Something everyone else can see, but not you. Now, whatever this moving away is, whether it's from these people after you've had enough or observed enough, or it's from something within yourself, there will be the necessary pain that follows, and the pain that inevitably breeds great creation and thought. Be creative. Let yourself. Use your voice. Speak. Get into the arts, get into media, get into using your voice, stating your opinion, drawing on your pain, drawing on your past, drawing on your childhood. Do something now with your creativity that fits how you feel, how you know you should feel, how you are working on feeling, and it will manifest in your life as a reality and as an open road to success. Good, let's look at the extended. Love you. Hi Aries, welcome to your extended. All right, let's talk about it. So the self-medicating, whether it's with food or with anger or with drugs or with medicinal drugs, whatever it is, until we address the pain that you're trying to numb, it's not going to help. It's not going to get better. You're not going to be able to curb your appetite for it. And you will absolutely beat yourself up for something that you are not approaching in the right way. And therefore, just keep shooting yourself in the foot over and over again and then punishing yourself for being in pain. So let's not do that. Instead, much easier to identify the symptoms and behave accordingly. So in this case, you have buried this pretty deep. I wouldn't be surprised if this has something to do with your childhood and those two people up there. It is a set of ways that you look at a world, and I suspect it is a template for how people treat each other in a love relationship, in a romantic relationship. And you have absorbed these ideas and you have carried them around. There you